So today we're going to look at some simple steps as to how we can work out questions with mean or average, those tricky questions that tend to come in that S.E.A paper. So the first step we want to do is write out the formula for mean or average. This is important so that we can know what we are actually trying to find in the question. Then step number 2, we substitute the values that are given in the question. 3, we find the unknown value. And 4, we double check our answer. It's important to double check just so that we'll know if we made sense in the question at all and we can guarantee our marks there. So in this question here, it says the mean of 8, 11, 6, 14, x and 13 is 66. Find the value of x. This is a very common type of question that we may get. So this is how we would work it out. Now since the formula for finding mean is this, which is mean is equal to the sum of numbers divided by the number of values, we could substitute the values we already have and solve for the unknown. So step 1, we're going to write the formula. We're following the same steps that we talked about in the previous slide. So we're going to write the formula. Mean is equal to sum of numbers divided by the number of values. Then we substitute our values. So in the question it said the mean of all these numbers here is 66. Alright, so we put 66 here. We substitute the sum of numbers. So we add up all these numbers here that they gave us in the question. And then we divide it by the number of values. So we count how many numbers we have. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So when we have substituted, the next thing that we want to do is just kind of simplify. So we have 66 is equal. We're going to add up all these numbers here. We can't add x because we don't know what x is. So we're just going to leave this here as x. But we're going to add up the rest of them and we put 52 plus x. This 6 here remains the same. So to find the sum of numbers, alright, meaning on top here, this value in red, we need to multiply the mean by the number of values. So that's mean by number of values. So that will give us 66 multiplied by 6, so these two numbers below here, right? That is going to give us 52 plus x. So it's like a cross multiplying. So 66 by 6 gives us 396. And this is equal to 52 plus x. So if I want to get x by itself, all I have to do is move this 52 from here. So if I take it away from this side, I'm going to take it away from this side as well. So 396 take away 52 is going to give me the value of x. So x is equal to 344. Now that we found out our answer, the last step is to double check. So double check answer by adding up all the values, including the unknown that you just found, and divide by the same number of values, and you should get back the mean that was stated in the question. So if x is 344, that means if I put it into this same formula from before, I knew I had 52 when I added up the other numbers, and in place of x I put 344, then I'll get a total of 396 divided by 6, which gives me back the same mean or average from the question, which is 66. So our answer is correct. One important tip I always tell students, once the value of the mean is given in the question, you will have to use the formula. Sum of numbers is equal to the mean by number of values. In other words, take the mean and multiply it by how much of a values you have in the question, and that's it. That's how you're going to get the sum of your numbers. There is no other formula to use. So once you see they've given you the value of the mean, know that you're going to have to use this formula down here. Okay? So let's look at this question. This is the S.E.A Mathematics 2020, question 38. So the mean of 6 numbers was 7. Another number was added and the new mean was 9. What number was added? So just as I said in the previous slide, once they have given to you the mean, we already know what formula we're going to use. So step 1, we can write the formula here. And this one I just added the extra step of showing you how we are going to end up with mean multiplied by number of values. So when we replace the values, the mean is 7 because it told us that in the question. We don't know what the sum of numbers are, but we do know that it was 6 numbers that they had divided by, so we put 6 here. So the same formula I said in the tip just now, which is mean multiplied by your number of values to give you the sum of numbers. We say 7 multiplied by 6, so that means the sum of our numbers is 42. Step 2, we need to do the same thing again, but now we have a new mean. So we're going to do the same calculation, but we're going to change that 7 into 9. So for the new mean, we need to find out what is the new sum of numbers. So we're going to say 9 multiplied by 7 to give us 63. Step 3 now, to find the number that has been added, we need to find the difference between the sums of numbers. So if after the new mean, the sum of numbers was 63, but before that it was 42, then I say 63 take away 42 to give me 21. Then we need to double check our answer. If I say 42, which is the original mean or sum of numbers for the mean, and I add on 21 to that, I'm going to get 63. So 63 divided by 7 is going to give me 9, which is the new mean. Here in the question you say the new mean was 9, so that means our answer is correct. Let's look at another question. This one is from the 2019 paper, question 40. Arnold's mean mark in 4 tests is 73. He wants to increase his mean by 5 marks. How many marks must he score in the 5th test? Alright, so again, first thing we do, we write the formula. So we have mean is equal to number of marks. So I just customize it with information for this question since we're dealing with marks and tests. So the mean will be the number of marks divided by the number of tests. So the mean they told us here is 73. The sum of the numbers, we don't know what that is, and they said 4 tests. So again, same thing as before. Once we are given the mean in the question, right, so they give us the mean here as 73, that means we have to find the sum of numbers by multiplying the mean by the number of tests. So we're going to get 73 by 4, which is going to give us 292. Step 2, they tell us that he wants to have a new mean, but that mean has to be increased by 5 marks. So the new mean, if we know that the old mean is 73, that means that the new mean has to be 78. We add on 5 marks to that. So if we're going to add on a new mean, and they said that he's doing a 5th test, that means that the number of tests that we're dividing by can no longer be 4, but we need to add on 1 more to make it 5. Okay, so then we say the sum of numbers is equal to 78 multiplied by 5 to give us 390. Step 3, to find out what was the score in the 5th test, we're going to find the difference between the totals after the 4th and 5th tests. So it's going to be 390 take away 292 to give us 98 marks. Step 4, let's double check. So if after the 4th test, right, the sum of numbers was 292, that means his total marks was 292. That means that if he did score 98 marks in the 5th test, when we divide by 5, we should get back 78. So 292 plus 98 will give us 390, and 390 divided by 5 is going to give us 78, which would be the same value as the new mean that they wanted. So that's how we will know that our answer is correct. For today, so we have this question here, number 19 of the 2018 paper. The mean of 6, 12, and 30 is the same as the mean of 15 and another number in a box. What does the box represent? So again, first thing we do, we write the formula. So mean is equal to the sum of numbers divided by the number of values. So in this case, the first mean, the mean would be 6 plus 12 plus 30, and it's 3 numbers, so we divide by 3. So that means that the mean is 16. Step 2, we want to find out what the box is. So we're going to say, we write back the formula again, and now we substitute the values that we have. So if they're saying that the mean of these 3 numbers is the same as the mean of 15 and another number. If the mean is 16 of the first three numbers, then we substitute and we put 16 is equal to 15 plus the box, right, that we don't know, divided by 2 because it's only two numbers. And that when we put in those values there, now we could find for the box. So we're going to say it's like finding for the sum of numbers again. So what do? We multiply the mean by the number of values. So 16 multiplied by 2 is equal to 15 plus the box, which we don't know. So we're going to simplify now. So 16 multiplied by 2 is 32. 32 is equal to 15 plus the value in the box. So if I don't know what that value is, all I can say is 32 take away 15 and that'll give me 17. Final step, let's double check our answer. So 15 plus 17 will give us 32, and if I divide that answer by 2, I'm going to get 16, which is also the same mean as the first three values. So after double checking, we realize that our answer is correct. And that is as simple as it is. Okay, so if we can just follow the same 4 simple steps for these type of questions, we're going to get all marks for sure. All right, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Or if there are questions that you've had that seems really hard, you can post a picture of the questions and we can work it out in the comments. Or I can post another video working out solutions for you. All right, have a good day, guys.